Just your impressions of the day's trade?
Hi, thanks for having me here. On the bond side, we actually saw a bit of a sideways market. Market actually closing down a bit at 0.38% down on the bourse. On the gainers and the losers side, we saw a mix of both. The blue chips actually saw some gainers there, and on the losers side, we saw some blue chips also hitting the losers side. Market basically had a total of 33 losers and about 25 gainers, so more losers in the market, pushing the market down a bit. Outside of that, we think generally trading activities coming into play, people trying to gauge the market and actually determine what position to go into the market for.
All right. Now, as a Forex expert, obviously you're watching the Naira. I mean, it recorded 3-month highs middle of last week because of the interbank sale of dollars, and today retaining some of those highs. What's influencing that?
Basically, I mean, we've seen a lot of huge dollar liquidity coming to the market, seeing the market testing new lows at every point in time. We think such liquidity is beginning to fade. We see demand actually cropping up on the CBDN window, which is a major driver to rate direction. We're saying basically this has been expected, albeit coming a little bit an auction later than expected. But our views on the currency has always been that we would expect this reversal to come in. We actually expected it to come in at the previous auction on Monday, but seeing it now is still in line with what the market general expectation is. We think the gains of Naira has been limited for a while. It's going to be on the downside, albeit not so swiftly, but also we'll expect to see some downward movements on the Naira.
Okay, talking about the Naira, you're saying you're expecting downward movements in the immediate future, but some are saying ahead of the elections, if the fundamentals are right, inflation is maintained, you could see the Naira getting stronger. Your views?
Well, I mean, a couple of factors will actually push on the Naira getting stronger. My views on the Naira is basically I would always maintain a kind of short-term view on the Naira in between on a 1 or 2 month horizon. On the longer term, I think a lot of indices has come into play to actually favor the firming of the Naira. Though I actually push on the firm Naira over a long-term period, yes, that stays there. But like I say, I would constantly watch some indices on the economy to see how far those indices play out and to draw a conclusion to say yes, the firm Naira is what we'll actually see over a long-term period.
All right. Now, this week we saw the central bank deciding to keep interest rates at 6%. I mean, the market had basically priced that in. But other measures taken by the central bank to try to bolster the economy, and they announced the launch of a manufacturing fund. Your impressions?
Well, basically on the MPC outcome, I would say the market is practically priced in the decisions that had come in. The statements that came out from the MPC were not any different from what we would have expected to come out. So I bet the MPC decisions really was no newsbreaker for the market. Outside of that, yes, the 150 billion loan to manufacturers is a newsmaker for us. We want to see the details from it to be able to see how it plays out. We'll be very interested in knowing that which manufacturing industry, which sectors of this manufacturing industry it's going into. We would like to know who those beneficiaries are. We'd like to see also the modalities of how disbursement, yes, is going to go through the banks, but we would like to see what extra form of modalities are being put in place by the central bank. Okay. Outside of that, it's always been a general impression that infrastructure has always been a bane of the manufacturing industry. Would want to see what is being done to tackle such infrastructural deficiency currently being observed, to see how it plays out generally. So we'll be on the watch out for the general modalities as outlined in the various factors that I just mentioned now as regards the loan being announced by the central bank.
All right, just in terms of those modalities, what we do know is that the CBN is going to give them a lifeline of 150 billion Naira. 150 companies will qualify, and they will each get 1 billion Naira by way of boosting their manufacturing stock. And they'll be given credit from the fund for a 15-year basis at a rate of 7%. Does that in any way impress you?
Yep. Yeah. Those factors are already out there. Yes, we'll like specific details. Would like to see come out. We'd like to know who are the companies involved. Yes, at 7% is a good interest. It's a good rate, but like I say, the other attendant cost to doing business, it's basically stem up from the infrastructure deficiencies. Those are the factors that really needs to be addressed to be ensured. I mean, at the end of the day, you might say the cost spiral from 7% to a double-digit figure, just simply because these manufacturers might end up having to provide certain facilities for themselves to be able to run this business. Those are the factors that we're looking at. Those are the factors we would like to see how it's been addressed and to see how it plays out at the end of the day for these business owners.
All right, and a final input. Everybody's awaiting clarity on the asset management company. It's gone to the president for promulgation. But thereafter, what is it that is hoped the asset management company will be, other than a vehicle through which toxic assets will be directed into bonds to try to recapitalize banks that were distressed through the bailout of last year?
Okay, well, I mean, the asset management company was basically set up to soak up the bad loan, in quote, to toxic asset, in quote, for banks, and I don't think it will deviate very much from its original purpose. That's what we expect it to do. The grace that's being currently witnessed on that bit of it is more like, what are the modalities? How is this vehicle going to work? And how is it going to function in the market? What are the instruments that are going to come in? We just need a little bit more clarity on how the AMC will work. We would have expected that on the back of the AMC announcement, we begin to see some good price action on the stock. But I guess maybe investors have already priced in the AMC move much earlier than this year, when we've seen the stock market grow over double digits from the start of this year. I bet those has been done, and people are waiting to see, okay, what other final details are going to come out that's going to look at that's going to point to green, more better news, more clarity for us to go into investment in these industries.